Just a quick video on how to change out the front drives in a Dell Precision 5820 workstation. And the first thing you're going to want to do is open it up. And what you want to check for is the front panel lock. So you see these two buttons here that are blue by the top front. There's an unlock and a lock button. If it's locked, it should be pushed in like that, and it'll prevent you from releasing the front trim piece that covers the drives. So to unlock it, you'll just push this blue button with the unlock symbol, and then both of these should be popped up towards the side of the case. From there, down on the bottom front, there's a little lever here that you just push down on, and it'll pop out this little trim piece here at an angle. Once you get that cover off, you'll have access to your drives, and your drive config may vary depending on your setup. This one is configured with 2 Flexbays and then just 2 regular drive bays. So I'm going to do the Flexbay one first, and this little rectangle here inside of it, if you push on that, it'll release the lever, which will allow you to remove the drive from the Flexbay. This has a M.2 NVMe drive in it. And to remove that drive, there's a little screw here that you'll need to... Oh wait, nope, sorry, forgot. You gotta move the side ones. And I don't have the right screwdriver for that. Alright. So I'm going to remove these 2 side screws. This is a Phillips number 0 screw head. And then from there, I'm going to remove this screw. And then this should just split apart, like so. You do have to have the little locking lever thing pushed all the way in, because these pins stick out the side of the housing. And you'll see your drive here, which is toolless. Just remove it. This only works with 2280 drives. You probably could put a shorter one in there, but it's not going to be fully secured, so just be careful with that. But yeah, take your 2280 drive and just kind of put it in there, push it down, make sure it's lined up with the screw hole, and you just take the cover and put it back on. And you pop this out to help it stay in place while you screw it back together. The black screw on the top here is a number 1 Phillips, so probably want to use the right driver so you don't strip it out. And then from there, once you get it put back together, you just push it in and latch it into place. Now, if you want to remove the Flexbay caddy, you're going to need a little paper clip. And you'll notice there's a little hole in the front. So you push on that to release it, and you want to remove the carrier, because basically you can pull it out with your finger or you can grab it, but if you try to grab it, it's just a little clumsier. So if you kind of just shove your finger in there and gently pull on it, it will come out accordingly. And there's the part number of the Flexbay module. It is a Dell 66XHV. I'm going to remove this blank caddy here for a second, so you can tell that you have a Flexbay module installed, or I guess not module, but backplane. I'll remove this from the tripod. If you look inside and you see the PCB in there like that, and it's also labeled M.2 versus the lower bays do not have Flexbay module. So I'm just going to remove that real quick. And as you can see, they just have this little SAS connectors. Now with the 3.5 inch drive bays, they can hold either a 2.5 inch or 3.5 inch drive. This one's currently configured with a 2.5 inch SSD, and to remove that, it's kind of a pain. You kind of have to spread this apart, there we go, and then pull it out at an angle. If you want to convert this to a 3.5 inch drive, you have to remove this support bracket that's kind of latched into place. And let's see here. First, you want to remove these little rubber nubs because they're going to need to be relocated. Now that you have those nubs removed, what you need to do is rotate this so the support bracket comes out, and you kind of twist it at an angle. It's kind of hard to show. There we go, like that. So you see how I'm pulling it inwards towards the caddy, so it's sitting at an angle, and then this part will stick out, and you just kind of keep rotating it until you have it vertical, and then this will lift straight out. Once you have that removed, you need to make sure that you have the pins with the rubber bumpers in the right spots. So as you can see, they'll correspond with the holes in the hard drive. So the ones that are already in there for the 2.5 inch drive, you have to lift up and move towards the back. And this one will lift up and go in the spot next to it. And then the ones I removed from the adapter go in the only two holes they can go in. And from there, you have the fun task of getting the drive in. Obviously the connector goes towards the inside, so you just line up one side of the pins, and you kind of have to twist this apart. It feels pretty scary, if you ask me. Feels like you're going to snap it, but as long as you're careful, you shouldn't break it. And then once you get those pins in place, you can reinstall the drive. Push it in, latch it in place. Now, if you don't want this drive in there, same deal, split it apart, pull the drive out. You'll have to relocate these back to their 2.5 inch drive bay position. So pull them out, put them in the other hole. And these on this side come out all together. Set them off to the side. And then this needs to be reinstalled. So if you have the inside part of the caddy facing you, and you have this, oops, this way, you shove it straight down where the sides that protrude would be on your left. If you're looking at the caddy, same position like this. You rotate it into place, and when you rotate it in place, you want to make sure all these tabs latch into their little corresponding grooves. So you'll notice, if I do a 1x zoom instead of the wide angle, you'll notice there's a track basically down that side and down this side. That's what these little tabs lock into. So put that in, you rotate it. These should have automatically tracked into place if you did it right, but the inside ones didn't, so you just kind of rotate it back and get everything lined up. And you'll know you have it right when the bottom piece is sitting pretty flat with the bottom of the main caddy's body. Then from there you'll just reinstall these little blue pins, shock mounts. And take your 2.5-inch drive, put one side in, twist the caddy far enough to get the pins to clear, which is always fun. Doing this a little crooked. Oop, almost. There we go. Yeah, those cracks sound a little disturbing, but as long as everything's still aligned correctly, should be good to go. Push your drive back in. Now, when you're pushing the drive back in, if it feels like, it's hanging and it doesn't want to go, obviously don't force it because you're going to damage the connectors on your drives. So if it acts like it's not wanting to go in smoothly, you may want to pull it out. Just make sure everything's aligned correctly and then push it back in. So really, you're supposed to use the lever to basically push it in, but if you want, what I would do is gently push on the little vent space here until it gets close. As you see the lever starting to go in, and then you just latch it the rest of the way. That way you don't run the risk of damaging the pins on the drive by forcing it, because that lever is going to allow you to put a lot more force on the drive than just gently pushing on the vent with 2 fingers. But yeah, then Flexbay, just reinstall that by pushing it in. You have the orientation right. It doesn't. There's a lot of slop, so it doesn't go in as smoothly as like a server drive caddy would. But yeah, so we'll get all that together, and the last thing to do is just take this grill. You'll notice these little tabs sticking out here versus these tabs that have hooks on them. The tabs that are sticking out go towards the outside of the case. And you don't put it all the way flat because the little holes they recess into are kind of in the middle of that gap. So you just kind of feel for it, hook it in, and just push it into place like so. And if you decide you want to lock that front door so people can't open it, just push that little blue button. But in most cases, it probably doesn't really matter. But hopefully that's helpful, and thanks for watching.